Good morning to everybody. I'm very happy to be with you, to the friends of Rest for Africa, and I wish a good work together, and my wishes also to Engineer Kamisekra that has the responsibility to run this meeting, Look, you are there in order to join your forces in order to develop alternative energy for Africa. A huge, big job necessary because Africa is really in need of energy. You know all the figures better than me. I don't want to repeat them. How backward is the energy consumption in Africa? So we have to give it, and we are in a very delicate moment in which Africa does not need subsidies, but a policy. Costs of renewable energy in some way are now much more competitive than in the past. We need the last jump. And, there are other initiative with the same objective. I mention only scaling solar, and clearly we have to study this experience, this positive experience, to use it in order to help your job and to work with them. No substitution and no duplication. This is my first humble advice, because the goal is to supply energy security, energy equity, and energy sustainability. Security means that we have to link all the experience in order to guarantee that the job goes in any part of Africa that is so, let's say, has so different conditions and so different situation. Sustainability is not only a technical concept, but is also an economic concept. Sustainability means that this can be processed in different conditions, like in many African countries, and then clearly, to do that, you need a political strategy. First of all, strong agreement with the European Commission. Start immediately, because the new Commission will have a lot of a very complicated agenda. The first that will enter in the agenda will have a better priority. We have a priority. Second, that I recommend it, a very systemic relation with the African Union. Clearly, you have to help African Union in order to create equal playing fields for developing, because if there is not African Union and the regional, of course, the regional children of African Union, will be absolutely difficult to have an African policy. And I repeat, look, if there are 54 different policies, it will be a disaster. So the problem of common regulation is absolutely a priority. Common regulation with the easiest procedure that you can invent. A consolidated financial and incentive project. Let's say a project that will be inclusive with the same standards or compatible standards, inclusive of public and private cooperation. Last point, it's impossible to ignore that in Africa there is a strong Chinese presence, you know. And so not a disruptive competition with the Chinese, but a strategy of mutual compatibility. Maybe in the future this could transform into a cooperation. But we have to start with compatibility. And so clearly you have a difficult challenge, you know, economic, political, technical challenge, and it's not easy to get the result, but you have the goal to do it. Is up to you to renew Africa.